跟你说一件事情。
什么？
我喜欢你。
我也喜欢你啊。
那我们之间是爱情吗？
你是开玩笑吧？
我是认真问你的，真的。
那当然不是爱情了。我们永远都是好朋友，那不是更好吗？
没什么。
Once you see the hottest girl you've ever seen 50 times in Vegas, you get to the point where it's like, she's super hot. I don't even look at her boobs once to have a conversation with her. I invite her to a couple events, say, hey, do you want to come support this animal rescue charity I'm doing? I go like, hey, good, let's exchange numbers. I go on, and then I notice she's watching every single one of my stories. So one of the places where I very much disagree with pickup artists and red pill people and all this kind of stuff is that I do very much believe men and women can be friends if men put women in the friend zone and not the other way around. I think it's very, very, in fact, if you do so, then you can invoke mate choice copying, because women will see compliance from multiple, you probably looked at my Instagram at some point.
Yeah.
Like they use, what will happen is you'll see compliance from multiple women will then get you more women, which will give you access to places with even more women, which will get you what you talked about, being smooth. So I'm around women on a multiple basis. My voice inflection doesn't change because I'm around women. I don't supplicate to them or change my behavior. And number three, women introducing you to more women. When I talk to the most attractive women, I'll have them on here on my show, Access Vegas sometimes. When I talk to them, I frequently ask, where did you meet the last 5 guys you've had sex with? There's a common question I have, and it's usually female friend, female friend, female friend, female friend, Instagram. It's never cold approach, pickup, date game at the fucking mall, and it's almost never, I met a super hot guy on Tinder. It's never those things. It's female friend, female friend, sometimes male friend, but he might be gay, and then Instagram. That's where they tend to meet these people.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, it's something that men just don't do. This is like, I don't know if you know anything about game theory, like that John Nash Beautiful Mind movie.
Read all about it.
Yeah. Great. So men being friends with women isn't very common. I made a video recently about this woman saying that whenever she's friends with a guy and he gets a girlfriend, he disappears because he was always interested in her. And I played a little buzzer, and I said, actually, men can be friends with women, but then women scream at us and say, why are you still talking to women? I need you to not talk to women. Yeah. And the thing is, I agree with her most of the time. Like, usually when a man is friends with a woman, it's because he's waiting for her to be available. I've been friends with women who were beautiful, who I really, really liked it. If they were not, if they were interested in me and they were not in relationships or whatever the wall was, I would be interested. I know how to turn that off and not be quietly in pursuit of her. Yeah. I've done that. I know how to do that. I've had a lot of female friends.
A very good friend once told me that he likes to always keep a couple of female friends around, especially when he is in a relationship. He said he never sleeps with them, but that they are the best wingmans, and because it is an unspoken competition for his girlfriend. I don't know if I would go that far, but I definitely recommend having a couple of female friends. In my experience, they help you learn how to carry a conversation, how to be charismatic and charming. Especially if your female friend is very attractive, that can help you with practicing being calm, level-headed, and not showing too much interest when you run into or date other attractive girls. Finally, that can help you with take control of your urges and your lust, because when you are used to dealing with attractive women, they stop having the same effect on you and you can take control of the interaction much easier.
Because they're doing it all the time. It's the guy friends that she has that don't hit on her that are the problem. And you understand where I'm going with this?
1,000%. I always say you absorb women, you don't chase them.
Yes.
And that takes me to a point I'd like to make. I was reading something the other day about the difference between a jiu-jitsu white belt and a black belt. And the article was talking about the main difference is that the white belt goes in and goes for the choke immediately. The practitioner, the one who really has game, waits and waits and waits and waits until he's in a position to where he doesn't have to put any effort at all, and then it's just sleep. And I would say that you could do the same thing in networking and in a situation with a beautiful woman. She's so used to every man going straight for the number, straight to sexual escalation, straight to foreshadowing the possibility of them having sex. Be the guy that's there, and she's like, he's not hitting on me yet. He's not. Next thing you know, she drops her hands, and then, boop.
Yeah.
That is actually the way to do it.
Right.
Because it's actually more wholesome as well, if you think about it. If you go in and you're immediately trying to sleep with this girl, then you basically look at her like a piece of meat. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And then secondly, you have no idea who this person is. You
Yeah.
don't know anything about her.
She hasn't earned a date, or she has not earned your affection.
Right. It also lowers your
At all.
status.
Yeah.
Right. And you're giving and you're telling her that you don't have to earn any kind of connection with me for us to sleep together.
Yeah.
And
So you're rewarding her just for existing,
Right.
essentially.
Right.
Guys, consider how outside of the reality this is. She is earning the right to sleep with you. Think about that one more time.
Which means, in a nutshell, that you have flipped that dynamic from
Right.
every other dynamic she's ever had in her life.
Right.
And again, networking, and be the guy that walks up to the high net worth individual, shakes his hand, looks him dead in the eye, has a normal conversation with him, and he can feel that you're comfortable in it.
Yeah.
And that you don't want anything from him, and that you're completely yourself. And he's going to be like, this is the one person that I've spoke to. There's something about that person. They won't even know what it is.
Yeah.
The girl will not even know what it is.
Right.
But it'll be that something there that's different that will make them want to pursue you instead of you pursuing them.
Yeah.
I look at pursuing women like a magnet. The more you pursue, the more it goes away. You want to create gravity.
Yeah.
And again, I cannot emphasize this enough. I mean this in networking and when you're dealing with females.
Yeah.
Like
It's a one-to-one correlation.
It is truly almost the same thing with different subject matter.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think a lot of people.
He is absolutely right. Most girls are so used to guys lusting over them and only wanting one thing from them, so when she meet a guy that genuinely only wants friendship from her, it makes her question her whole reality. But this only works if you actually are indifferent and if you have an abundance mindset, because if you already have real feelings for her and you just acting like you want to be friends with her, she might just walk away and find another guy that she likes more. Females usually don't respond well to being friend-zoned, especially if they like the guy, so you probably need something going for you for her to stick around. If you are just an average man with no looks, status, or money, she just won't see the value in having you in her life.
What happens is if you're living in any kind of scarcity, this has happened to me. I have tons of female friends now, but I remember getting back from the Middle East. I did 6 months deployment to Al Udeid, and when I got back, I went to in Atlanta, strip clubs are a little different. Strip clubs and nightclubs, there's kind of a mesh. Same thing in Miami. There's kind of a hybrid of the two things. And I'm in there and I'm talking to this girl, and I remember just fumbling, like literally mouth got dry. I hadn't spoken to an attractive woman in 7 months, and the woman almost like said, I hope everything's all right with you. Like some sort of piteous remark. And I was just like,
Sure.
because I was so uncalibrated to this situation. The opposite of smoothness. I like that term, smoothness or game, if you want to call it, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Being used to what I like to say is immersion, the concept of in the U.S. military where they put you behind a berm and they fire live bullets over your head. So you get used to hearing that whizzing noise. Your heart rate's at 140. The next time you do it, it's at 120. And then finally your heart rate stays at 83 and you're like checking your phone while the bullets are going on. This is what happens once you see the hottest girl you've ever seen 50 times in Vegas. You get to the point where it's like, she's super hot. I don't even look at her boobs once to have a conversation with her. I invite her to a couple events, say, hey, do you want to come support this animal rescue charity I'm doing? I go like, hey, good, let's exchange numbers. I go on, and then I notice she's watching every single one of my stories. Every single one. And because why? Because I was still able to do those things at the bottom on your chart there. I was still able to trigger attraction.
Keep them up.
But I did not show intent because my intent is valuable. You have to work for it.
Yes,
I believe in this concept of chiseling out the life you want.